Hello everyone. Today we are exploring an interesting Islamic group that claims to be a universal religion, namely the Baha'is. If you are curious about who they are, what they believe, and why they are so often at the center of debate, then this video is for you. Stick around because we are going to explore it all. For more in-depth information, you can check out my book, Ask Your Muslim Friend, where I cover this topic in section 1.6.7. So who are the Baha'i? The Baha'i faith began in Iran during the mid-1800th century as an outgrowth of the Shiite version of Islam. The Baha'i movement claims to be a universal group and emphasizes the following. It offers hope for all who long for world peace. It promotes equality among races and sexes. It aims for independent religious thinking. It works for a responsible integration of faith and science. Now let's talk about the origin of the Baha'i faith. It all began with Sayyid Ali Muhammad, who lived from 1819 to 1850. He was a merchant from Shiraz who, at the age of 25, made a bold claim. He was the promised Qaim, also known as the Mahdi, the guided one. He then took on the title of Bab, meaning gate. During this time his faith began to take root in several countries, but its early followers faced intense persecution. In a moment, I will explain why that was. Later on, Shohi Effendi, who led the faith from 1921 to 1957, outlined what he saw as the distinguishing principles of Baha'u'llah's teaching. Let us read a quote from his writing that captures these key elements.
The independent search after truth, unfettered by superstition or tradition, the oneness of the entire human race, the pivotal principle and fundamental doctrine of the faith, the basic unity of all religions, the condemnation of all forms of prejudice, whether religious, racial, class, or national, the harmony which must exist between religion and science, the equality of men and women, the two wings on which the bird of humankind is able to soar, the introduction of compulsory education, the adoption of a universal auxiliary language, the abolition of the extremes of wealth and poverty, the institution of a world tribunal for the adjudication of disputes between nations, the exaltation of work performed in the spirit of service to the rank of worship, the glorification of justice as the ruling principle in human society, and of religion as a bulwark for the protection of all peoples and nations, and the establishment of a permanent and universal peace as the supreme goal of all mankind. These stand out as the essential elements.
Hey, if you're finding this interesting so far, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into unique faith and belief systems. Now here is where it gets a bit contentious, especially among other Muslims. The core beliefs of the Baha'i faith set them apart in significant ways. First, Baha'is do not consider Muhammad to be the final and greatest prophet. Instead, they see him as one of many prophets in a long line of divine messengers. Secondly, they don't view the Quran as the last and greatest revelation from Allah, but as part of a series that includes later revelations such as the scriptures of the Baha'i faith. Let's pause here for a moment. What do you think of these beliefs? If you are a Muslim, how do these claims make you feel? Is it true that most Muslims become angry when they hear such claims, and thus it is no wonder that Baha'is are heavily persecuted in many countries? Now, the following 12 principles are frequently listed as a quick summary of the Baha'i teaching. There are different lists of principles, but this one appears to be the most popular. The first 3 points of this list are commonly referred to as the 3 onenesses. Now let's look at these 12 core principles which form a fundamental part of Baha'i and their faith. First, they emphasize the oneness of Allah. Secondly, they also emphasize the oneness of religion. There is only one true religion. Thirdly, the oneness of humanity. Then, fourth point, gender equality is a priority for them. Fifth point, the elimination of all forms of prejudice. Sixth point, they aim for world peace. Number 7, the harmony of religion and science. Number 8, they emphasize independent investigation of truth. Number 9, they also aim for universal compulsory education. Number 10, a universal auxiliary language. 11, obedience to government and non-involvement in partisan politics. Number 12, the elimination of extremes of wealth and poverty. Dear friends, when you look at this list of these 12 principles, what does come to your mind? Are there principles which you like to change or add? If you are enjoying this breakdown of Baha'is beliefs, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We have more content like this coming your way. These principles focus on social and ethical issues, but the Baha'i faith foundational texts appear rather mystical. The purpose of life in Baha'i scriptures is to acquire virtues, know Allah, develop spiritually, and help carry forward an ever-advancing civilization. Personal development is conceived as an organic process, like the development of a fetus assisted by Allah's messenger. Baha'u'llah taught of an afterlife in which the soul may progress infinitely through ever more exalted spiritual realms. Heaven and hell are perceived as references to an individual's proximity to Allah, not as an exclusive or physical place. By the year 2005, the Baha'i claimed to have 7 million adherents worldwide. Today, they are present in over 200 countries. In most of these countries, they are small minority religious group, especially in Islamic countries such as Iran and other radical countries. They are severely persecuted. Since the Islamic revelation in 1979, the Baha'is in Iran have regularly had their homes ransacked or been banned from attending university or holding government jobs. Several hundred Baha'is have received heavy prison sentences for their religious beliefs, mostly for participating in study circles. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you had any experience with Baha'i followers? What do you think about their beliefs? Are they a sect or do they belong to the wider spectrum of Islam? If you are a Muslim, what do you make of their views on Muhammad and the Quran? If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you have any questions or want to dive deeper into this topic, leave them in the comments and I will be happy to respond. You can also find more detailed information in my book, available for free download on our website. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and God bless.